Look at another very powerful tool when you are trying to create a more complex object, and that's called push and pull tools. That tool is basically helping us to create a different geometrical shape in our drawing. So let's say, for example, let me just get rid of this surface here, and I'm just gonna add multiple line this side and this side. So I have a multiple surface on this drawing, and now I want to create a geometry out of this. So I want to create one box here, one box here, and one box here. Push and pull tool is going to be basically helping me to create that type of geometry. What I can do is that I can go to this large tool set and then click on the push and pull, or just type P as a short key to access to that. And whenever I go over different surfaces, you notice that that surface kind of highlighted. So when I click on that surface, I can pull that up or pull that down, and that's gonna be creating that, like some sort of a geometry out of that. If I click on this and release my keyboard, then I have the freedom now to add like exact dimension to that, like this geometry. Like for example, I can put add 8, and that's create another like a geometry up here. I can just go around and start adding more object here and there, and as I'm doing that, I basically creating more surfaces here. So now I can play with each of these surfaces and then trying to manipulate my surfaces around, basically based on whatever I want. So basically, as you can see, with the simple tool push and pull tool, I can just easily create a very like a complex object without doing that much of a work, and that will be very helpful, especially when you're trying to create, like for example, when you're trying to create a complex geometry. I can also click on one object and bring it. Let me just delete this line. So I'm gonna go and delete this line. I can also use the push and pull tool to just bring some object back and forth. So for example, here I can just make this going inside this object. Now let's say, for example, I'm gonna add one small opening here, and now if I go here and use the push and pull tool, I can just bring this in. So it's not just about creating geometry outside there, like pushing it out. It's also helping me to create and like creating a hole, or creating a void within my geometry. So using this push and pull tools in addition with the line and like a basically intersect with each other, that create another like some sort of a shape or format that I can basically use in order to like work within. So you can see that I have two surface here. I can load the surface down here, so it does give me more option. Now I have created this surface up down here, so I can just with that surface. The other thing that I can do when I'm working with push and pull tool is that if I hold control and use the same push and pull tool, so I'm going to call to control, and you can see that it shows a plus sign there. If I click on the surface, now when I push and pull this surface, that actually adds additional surfaces on that side. What does that mean? That means that I can, for example, here, now I can have a multiple surface. So I know that where I started, and that become very helpful, especially with the editing as a geometry, or when you are trying to conceptualize your work. So now, for example, if I want to add another surface while keeping this line here, I can press hold control and then do the same thing. And as you can see, quite easily with using that push and pull tool, and also using a control whenever it's necessary, I can create a very complex geometry quite easy.